You're tuned in to Kiddy Pink Radio, where black media matters. Keep it locked.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand. That's why I'm not famous.
I give it to the niggas, but I'm gonna give it to y'all ladies too. Y'all big girls, stop paying for these niggas to fuck on you, cause y'all make it to where they think it's a thing with all of us. When they get to a big bitch like me, they be thinking that I'm finna buy they snacks and I got my hand held out cause I want some snacks.
And men should stop doing it too.
Doing what? Doing what?
Tricking.
It ain't nothing but a number. 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 Hey, you say it's because of my ex girl, but age ain't nothing but a number. It ain't nothing but a number, baby. You say it's because of my ex girl.
I had to come in. I had to come in strong with that. What's up, y'all? It's Wednesday. It's noon o'clock, and we in the building. How you doing, 4-5?
You know what it is, and that song is sad.
Did
That's
I get in trouble for thinking like that?
Yeah, but they got away with it because they was young boys singing that song, and they was young.
I think they were groomed. I think that all the men that were around them were telling them that. But
Could have been.
How you doing? What's been going on with you?
The same old shit. I think you might be right though. They might have been groomed. They might have been groomed in that same shop that August was for them entanglements.
I love this shit. We can get off of everybody, but today we are talking about age gaps when you're dating. It's real out here.
And boyfriend Jesse Rutherford sparked an online debate about their 11-year age gap after dressing as a baby and an old man for Halloween. But they're not the first celebrity couple to address their age differences. Cher recently commented on her 40-year age gap, saying on Twitter that, quote, love doesn't know math. Before their split this summer, Florence Pugh defended her 21-year age gap with Zach Braff.
I am 24 years old. I do not need you to tell me who I should and should not love. And I would never in my life, ever, ever tell anyone who they can and cannot love. It is not your place. And really, it has nothing to do with you.
Camila Morrone, who started dating Leonardo DiCaprio when she was 20 and he was 43, has also spoken out about it. Quote, there are so many relationships in Hollywood and in the history of the world where people have large age gaps, Morrone said. I think anyone should be able to date who they want to date.
Do you think anyone should be able to date who they want to date, 4-5?
Well, here's a question. Well, I don't know. When do you think a man is in his prime and when is a woman in her prime? Right? Like most of the time, people think men are in their prime in they mid to late 30s, early 40s. And most of the time we look at women in their prime in their 20s.
Yeah.
Most when we looking at when you looking at it from that standpoint, prime would want to kind of go with prime, right?
True.
Makes sense. It makes sense. But I think what we're discussing here is, okay, yeah, it's an age gap. That may be true, but like when does that age gap start? I don't believe it should start at for somebody to be like, 35 and this girl is 16 or
There's a
14.
19-year difference between me and King's dad. I
But
was
how old?
20, I think I was like 24ish, and he was 44 when we started dating.
See, that's kind of prime, right?
Do you
Kind
think
of.
men sought after younger women?
Do I think they do? I think older people seek after younger people, period.
I don't even say, me personally, my opinion, I don't think it's just the age is what they're looking for. I think it has a lot to do with physical attributes. And a lot of us women, we fear growing older because, as we get older, that beauty begins to fade. Things aren't
Right.
different. For example, I've had a head full of beautiful brown hair a majority of my youth, and now I'm starting to see gray hairs, and they in different places, matter of fact. So like it's it's a big thing with women. I know for a fact, like a lot of women, the reason women go get BBLs and fillers and stuff is because they're chasing after the fountain of youth. So some of them can attract their ideal man. Me personally, that's what I think. And I know for a fact, like a lot of older men, because that's mostly all I've ever dated were men older than me. And now that I'm getting older, it seems like the young niggas, they trying to shoot they shot now. So like, I honestly think like sometimes we gravitate towards that, and a lot of it does have to do with the mommy and daddy syndrome, the issues that we have with our parents. A lot of the time we seek that, and I don't think I was seeking that with older men. My deal with older men was I've always been a big girl, and big men and men seeing that as you're not big, you're thick. And younger niggas was like, you fat ass, Miss Piggy. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where my attraction came from when it came to older men, because they accepted me, my body size, my body shape. But
You think it's that, or you think it was maturity level?
Maturity level as well, because I wasn't your average, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of women, they say that as like it's as a myth, like women get older, you know what I'm saying, mentally before men. And there's some truth in that, because I've always been a very mature younger
That's
lady.
what I'm glad you bringing that up, because I think we tend to forget that in adolescence, I remember being young and it being said all the time that the girls were going to mature faster than the boys were. And that was a common thing. And I think now, because of, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying society is wrong. I do think that you have to, like, an age limit, you know what I mean? But then when you look at it, right, you look at states, right? I know I'm going but it's all coming back around in full circle, right? Like, if you look at states and you look at their laws, each state is different for that shit,
Each
right?
state is different. Yes.
Right.
Ain't it
Like
17 in Texas?
I thought it was 16 in Texas. If you had parental consent, you could it may be 17. You might be right, but I thought it was 16, and I think it's like 15 or 16 in California. I don't know what it is in Arkansas or Louisiana.
There's one
but
state where 15. I don't know
right.
which state it is exactly, but 15.
But it's with parental consent.
With
Normal,
parental
right?
consent.
Right.
Interesting.
So
It's 17 in Texas. I thought so. What's up, Robert Rollo? Thank you for joining us. It's 17
okay.
in Texas. I thought so, because I think we
So if it's 17 in Texas, I believe it's 16 in California.
Right.
Because
And like even in foreign countries, it's younger than that, and it's just like, what the fuck?
right. And
but
so
in America, let's be clear. It's some strange shit going on. Let's talk about Adam 22, ladies and gentlemen.
Adam
I'd like to say
22.
is that the girl in question, I didn't even meet until she was 19. And I think this is a very important detail that I just want to really put out there. So, and I you gotta let me flesh this out a little bit, is that we're talking about back in the day when I think I was like 22, 21, 22. And I had met a girl on a message board at the time, right? And it was like an old like punk message board, basically. And, I knew other people that knew her and stuff. So I thought that was all good. We started chatting a little bit. We get on the phone. She lived in Canada, right? And so then she tells me once we hop on the phone that she's actually 16. And so my response to that, even at that time, even at 22, I did the right thing. Obviously, like getting on the phone in the first place is bad, but I did the right thing. I said, hey, I know this isn't that big a deal to you because it's legal where you're from, but it's a big deal where I'm from. So that's it.
Adam, it looks like you went to Vancouver because you knew at 16 it was legal where she was from. I did.
Somehow me and that girl.
So, what's your opinion on that particular situation? Well, let me read Rolo's comment. He said, it's about your character. I can't mess with anyone the age of my children. It kind of like, I'm gonna be real with y'all though. I'm kind of double standard. I have dated somebody younger than me. Y'all know I'm bi, but when it comes to younger girls, I can't do that. I can't do it. Like, and they be hollering, little young ass whippers, and I just be like, I can't do that. That just feels really weird to me, But I've dated younger. Well, the youngest dude that I ever dated was probably 24. At that time, I was 33, maybe. And Rolo is absolutely right. It's about your character, which when he came to me, he acted like he was more mature than he was. But as we got along, long story short, I couldn't handle it. I felt like I was with my child. So that's another thing. Like, it don't weird you out that, not you, but I mean, wouldn't it weird you out that you're fucking with somebody that can't even relate to what you're going, like, you've already adulthood, you know what I'm saying? You're paying bills, you're doing this, and here comes along somebody that's barely out the house with their parents. They probably been on their own maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and here they come along. Do you think, like, fuck that? What do you think about Adam 22? Let's just go there. Fuck it all. Let's talk about that.
I'm gonna say this when it comes to, because we're like borderline on the, and you know how I feel about this, and I've tried to point this out for years, whatever platform we was on, and I'm telling the truth. Mm-hmm. We are trying to normalize pedophilia. We're trying to normalize that, but see, if we're going to do that, then at what age should we consider anything under 14,
what? Even
15?
I feel like anything with a teen on it.
That's not quite fair. 19? 19?
Because you know more than me. You've experienced more than me. Straight bullshit. Right, Rolo? You've experienced more than me, and not just that. Would you say it's easier to groom somebody with that mentality?
Okay, let me ask you this. Think about this. Think about what I'm saying. At 19, though, I mean, because I know I was a mature 19-year-old dude. You know what I'm saying?
I was even a mature 16-year-old, but it just fascinates me how many people don't see anything wrong with fucking with somebody that young. Now, my thing with him is he said he hollered at her one time when she was 16, then turned around and actually started fucking with her once she was of legal age.
Right. He said that's 3 years, right? And you would like us to believe that you didn't have no contact with her at all until she directly turned 19.
And that was it.
And then all of a sudden, you knew when she turned 19. And now we talking. Nah, that's not how that works. You and I both know that's not how that works. You probably talked to her for 3 years. Pretty positive you talked to her for 3 years off and on, and you was all off in her head and all that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But this is where things get kind of funny, right? Like, do you get mad at a 19-year-old for hollering at a 15-year-old or 16-year-old? Do you get mad at a 19-year-old for hollering at a 14-year-old? You see what I'm saying?
With those situations, even with those situations, because
And
I've
let's
talked
not.
to, I
There
was
you
in
go.
college at an early age. So I
There
was
you
in
go.
an atmosphere where there were 18 and 19-year-olds to my 16, matter of fact, 14. I was
But hold
taking
on,
college
Kiddy.
courses when I was in 8th grade.
Let me ask you this question though. Without you being in college at an early age, right? The girls that was around your age, right? That was still in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I said this before on one of our platforms that we had talked on before. I specifically remember being in school, and it was a big thing for a young girl to be pulling up
With
in
an
the
older
ride
boy.
of her 19 or 20-year-old
Right,
boyfriend, and
right,
she was just turning 15. You
right.
understand what I'm saying? I
Like
remember these
Rolo
things, and
says, sex is all that can happen at that point. Like, you just fucking on a younger, you banging on a young chick, or you banging on a young boy, because this topic most of the time we be talking about men, but there are women out here who see
let's
nothing
get
wrong with it either.
hey
And I'm gonna play this
and
clip
but
for
let's
y'all.
yeah,
Go
you're
ahead.
right about that because women. I don't understand why it is, and it's a weird thing in society, right? Like women get. Do you? Let me ask this. I'm not. I don't want to put it out there like that, but do you feel like women get away with it?
Yes. Yes.
I feel like let me say this. I feel like the law picks, and I've always said this about on any subject, whether it be murder, whatever, rape, whatever. I feel like the law picks and chooses what it wants to do when it wants to do it. You know, understand what I'm saying? Because remember back in the day, I don't know if you remember this because you're a little bit you're younger than me, right? But do you recall back in the day there was a woman
That
teacher?
mess with that high school student.
No.
Oh,
This boy was 11 years old. She got pregnant by him. Like they ended up later in life, she ended up getting pregnant by him, but she ends up having more babies by him, and they ended up getting married.
yes, that's the lady that was messing with the young man that was in her class. She ended up going to prison and everything. I remember
Like a
that very.
okay, okay. It was like a young Hispanic
It was a
gentleman, right?
Hispanic dude. They divorced now. They ended up getting a
Now,
divorce.
but we're talking about years later, though. They had raised a family together.
Yeah, yeah.
She
They
went
raised
to
a family
jail.
together and everything.
Right. So let's not even go all the way into it. I'm just saying you
She
remember
said
that,
that was
right?
in Seattle, in Washington State.
Okay, but you remember that. But I need you to know
Wait a minute.
this.
What's the age? Tanisha, I don't know if you've been on here or not, but what's the legal age of consent in Seattle? Let's see what they're doing over there in Washington. Continue. I'm sorry,
Well,
bro.
it definitely couldn't have been 11. So,
And
well,
he
at
was
least
11
at the
when that started. I thought he was a teenager.
well, considering he was turning. Look, they have been messing around with each other. They admitted when he was 11. So, and
That's
know this.
grooming at its
Here,
finest.
But here's the thing, Katie. Here's the thing. What didn't make it to the national headlines, there was a couple of places, not just here in Texas, but there was a couple of like in Oklahoma. Like there's states all over where you find out that something similar to that happened
Right.
with women, but it doesn't get just as publicized. You understand what I'm saying? Now it also happens with men. You'll hear about them coaches and shit that have been messing around with all these girls because that happened not too long ago. I believe it was.
Ooh, matter of fact, I don't even mean to interrupt you. Did you hear about it's this dude that's on a Real Housewives of Atlanta. He's a college coach. There was a young man who he got catfished. He thought he was talking to a nice hottie, little fine ass baddie, And, you know, between them, they started talking. He started sending her, you know, inappropriate pictures and stuff. And then the next thing you know, all of a sudden, she starts blackmailing him. And you know, whenever when shit like that is released, that puts you at risk of losing your scholarship and all type of stuff. So he ends up going to one of the lower coaches.
Oh,
and that this nigga tells him, "Oh my God, me too. They doing the same shit to me." So he comes up with this whole, he talks to the people, comes back to the little boy and said, they said they'll leave us alone if we have sex on camera. Ends up having sex with this boy just to find out that he was the catfish the whole time. The boy is of legal age now, but at this point, we can't call it sexual assault. We can't say it's rape because he's of age. How do you feel about that?
Isn't there something like, ain't that like, God damn, that's like kind of blackmail-ish. What? There's a term for that shit. I know, like right?
That hits a whole bunch of laws. This nigga done broke a whole bunch of laws, but I feel like they can't charge him, you know, as a sex offender or anything like that because the boy is of age. And it was consensual, even though it was all blackmail.
Right, he tricked him into it.
The boy is trying to sue. He's suing him. Also, he's suing the college. I'll come back with the details of that everything later. Y'all Ken was charged. Oh, okay. He talking about something else. I'll come back with all the details and deets and everything where it happened and all that stuff. But he's suing the college as well as he's suing his coach because he went to his coach about it. And the coach said, because it was the coach's best friend. And this nigga gonna tell the boy, you can't let that worry you. That nigga got a couple of bolts loose.
Hey, hold on though. This is where shit, I don't know, man. Can you get in trouble for consent?
I feel like you tricked the nigga. You tricked him. He thought that he was saving his coach because his coach married. He thought he was saving his coach, and he was trying to help himself. And like I said, basically what they were saying, the catfish was saying, after this, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. But later on, the catfish comes back after the boy go home and come back from break. And then all of a sudden he wants him to do more stuff, and he refuses to do it. This is what broke the camel's back. He refused to do more stuff on camera. So the coach released everything, even the thing that went on with him. So everybody ended up getting busted.
So the coach was doing it too?
He's the one that was catfishing the young man. And so my thing is how can he be charged for that? Like, what, you know, I feel like he should be charged for that. And I feel like he should have that stripe on his back as a sexual predator. Because regardless of what, I don't give a damn what y'all think 18 is. Y'all be thinking 18, I don't care. They're still a child. That, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, okay, hang on though, Kiddy. 18, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's 18 is consensual for sexual activity. So that's fine. But here's the thing on that. Like, there's some kind of weird ass, I know that's got to be some kind of entrapment, blackmail shit. Like, but here's what they are always gonna fucking lose on is the fact that, hey, did he have to do it? Did he have to do it?
Well, I mean, think about it. You're on the line to lose your scholarship. You don't come from a wealthy family, and not just that you don't want it to get out. You know what I'm saying? What do you do in a situation like that as a child? And we just spoke about maturity in the mental. As a child, how do you handle something that heavy?
Now that's where's Me Too? That's a Me Too. That's classic Me Too shit, right? Somewhat.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Tanisha said minors can't give consent. I showed some other comments, but we was
Right.
deep in conversation. Robert Rollo said middle school coach in Crowley ISD was talking to middle school girls at a different school that he teaches at. They need their
Right.
ass kicked and they need to be effed in jail. I agree with you, Rollo. Anybody that
Exactly.
fucking kids.
Exactly. Now back
Tanisha
to what
said minors can't give consent.
okay, so minors can't get okay, but we've established that 18 is not a minor though. We've established that across the states, right? 18 is it's semi
on paper. We'll say that on paper, but we all know 18 teen. You're still a teen. What's up, DCP in the building? What's up, Dean Manuscript?
not considered you're not considered an adult really until you're 21. We all know that, right? Because you can't drink until you're 21, right? So, I mean, I see where you're coming from on that, but at the same time, I'm saying as far as legally, when we say minors today, minors are not 18. Minors are 17 and below, right? And even at that, I still think, Kiddy, I think some get away with the 17.
Tanisha says correct, but at 18, can you go into the military? But at 18, you can go into the military.
Right. That's why you're considered an adult. That's what. Right. So you're not a minor at 18. You're not a minor at 18. So at some point, especially, this is where, I'm sorry, but this is where guys can't get away with the shit. Guys gotta, if you consented to it, my man, like, that don't really work in guys' favor.
That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. And since we're segueing into the whole double standard when it comes to men and women, let's talk about Larsa Pippen.
Started dating. I don't know if you were dating or not yet, but when you were pictured together, I was on the Breakfast Club, and I was like, no, they're just out eating. Like, they know each other.
But we were.
Yeah, okay.
We
so
weren't
that's
dating.
what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah. We really weren't dating. We actually met at a party 4 years ago, and I feel like a lot of people want to like spin things like, oh, they've known each other their whole life. And I'm like, by the way, we did not. I just met him 4 years ago. You know, when his dad and Scotty played together, like they were like not together. His mom and dad were not together. I was in college. Like we missed each other. You know, we missed that little era. So it's like we were friends. We met 4 years ago. We were friends. We have mutual friends. So we were like in the same group like a lot. And it's funny because I was trying to set him up with all my friends.
Wait a minute, what?
It's like his own goal.
Literally. Yeah.
He was like, nah, I don't want them. I want you.
Wait a minute. I was literally like telling all my friends in Miami, I'm like, you gotta make like, you know, make time to meet him. He's so cute.
Did he ever go on any dates with any of your friends?
No.
Good job.
He was doing.
No, but I literally was like, I would hype him up to all my friends. I'm like, he's a great guy. You should date him. You guys, he's coming to town. He's coming to Miami. You guys should hang out.
He probably was making up excuses.
Guys are so sneaky.
Yeah.
Marcus, was this your goal, like in your head?
No, there was no goal. We're like best friends.
We really are. We just have fun together. I feel like we have a lot of like similarities. You know, we're both from Chicago. We both love basketball. We both love business stuff. We're both very, very family oriented.
Anyway, I'm tired of hearing that talk. Let's get into it. At that point, this woman is the wife of weren't they like rivals, Michael Jordan and Pippen?
No, what? No, that was Batman and Robin. What is you talking about?
Okay.
They played on the same team with each other. What is you talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Just tell the world you don't really watch sports. Because every goddamn title that Jordan won, Pippen won. They were a duo.
So how do we dissect this?
Huh?
How do we dissect this? She claims that she wasn't around the little boy or nothing like that. But if they comrades, surely the kids done had a play date or something.
No, I don't think I don't think Pippen was with her. All right, he might have been. I don't know the story, man. I just find this strange.
Strange as fuck.
Hey, shit. But
Cause
see,
like
you know,
if I done seen you as a little boy, like imagine babysitting a motherfucker. Which there's a rumor, but she corrected that. She said she never babysitted that boy. That she had never even been in the same room. That's what she say with this little boy. But let's go into our imagination a little bit. Imagine babysitting somebody and seeing them grow up, possibly even changing their parents. And
Kiddy,
then
them boys is around your age. He around your age. He around your.
He's okay. Yeah, he's 38. 30.
Right.
No, he's 34.
He's around your age.
Okay, well, let's say you've been babysitting the motherfucker, and all of a sudden, like, how do you
babysit this nigga?
I don't care. Like,
what do you want, man? I mean, you can't be. I mean, they grown. And what y'all tell me last week, I need to shut the fuck up because they in a higher tax bracket. They get to get away with shit. They get to.
Nigga, you been waiting on the opportunity to bust that one, huh? Honey, do you see shit? But
they just. I don't.
You're right, but I just find it very odd. You're Larsa Pippen, and out of all the men who are drooling, you go for Michael Jordan's son. That's a little weird to me. But like at that point, like let's say of age, what is the age gap? What is
That's what I want to get to. Somebody tell me what exactly is the age gap, because I be having. I done had some young boppers holler at me and be like, "Wait a second, I got daughters y'all's age."
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
married long at all.
Huh?
Johnny said they wasn't married long at all.
Oh, see, I don't know. I don't know nothing about like they relationship. I know about. Anybody who knows anything about basketball knows about Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, but like I don't know, like I don't really know much about Michael Jordan's relationship with Juanita or his new wife. I don't know nothing about Pippen and whoever he married. I know Pippen got a son that's playing in the NBA now. He played for the Lakers. I know that, but all the rest of that bullshit, like y'all said, out of my tax bracket, baby. That's what they do. And they of age, Kiddy. It'd be different if we was talking about him and he was like 20 fresh. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just turned 20. He's 30 past 33.
I think the biggest controversy about that particular situation is the fact that that's Michael Jordan's son.
Exactly. And that's Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. That's the biggest thing about it. They are of age. What happens is what happens. Now, Jada Pinkett Smith in August South, you know, going to her son's playroom and pulling out August, that's a different ballgame. That's a different ball game.
I'm gonna play with you today. You gonna have these folks coming for us.
Yeah.
Tanisha Madison said 10 years. She has a rule: 10 years younger than my dad, but 15 years older than my daughter. What you think about that?
I just figured 7 and 7. 7 years older than me, 70 years younger. I just figured that would be like I think after a certain point, to each his own, right? After you hit.
What's too young to you? For you, your preference. What's too young for you?
Well, shit. It's gotta. Yeah, like I said, 7 years younger than me. I'm saying that, but if a bad little bopper was and she right
So
fit,
if a badass 19-year-old come
no,
through,
I can't do it. I can't do it because I will always be thinking I'm doing something. I would be thinking to myself, I'm doing something. I might be doing something good, but I'm really doing something bad. If a 19-year-old girl, you think my youngest daughter is about to be 20. So you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
You see, like, but every guy doesn't think that way. Neither does every woman. You know what I'm saying? Every woman doesn't think that way.
Dean Main Script said, ain't no age gap after 21, really, and definitely after 25. I do agree with him. After 25, I
Right.
do agree with that.
After 25, for sure.
But
That's
you know, like
that.
I said, when I was having my little situation with the little 24-year-old, like Rolo said, it was like bend me over and bust my back up. It can't be about nothing but sex. After that,
That's all it is for older women.
Right.
That's all it is for older women. They just getting a young rod. They just getting that young. They getting that young pole. They got. But hold on. When he was 24, how old was you? He wasn't like in.
I was 33.
Was you deep?
I was 33.
That's not bad though. That's 9 years. That's not bad. Right? Like I think like especially if they within a 10-year range, you really ain't. You're not doing nothing wrong.
About it now, I feel guilty. I ain't gonna even front on y'all. Talking about it now, I feel guilty. What's up?
You should.
Who is that talking about? Hey, y'all, it got Facebook used on your name.
You should feel bad, Kiddy, because if you was 23, you would have let him holler at 14.
No.
See?
No.
But it was okay when he was 20. It was okay when he was 24, 10 years later.
No.
See what I'm saying?
No.
I think that's where
Now, that's pedophilia. That's when we're stepping into the grounds of pedophilia, in my opinion.
That's what my question was. What age do we consider it pedophilia? Is it below 16, below 15, 13, 12?
18 is pedophilia.
Below, goddamn.
I do. That's
Well, then so let me ask you this. You know the dude that played in the Fast and the Furious that died, the white guy that died that played in the Fast and the Furious.
I remember who you talking about.
He was like in his 40s. He was dating a 16-year-old, 16, 17-year-old.
In his 40s? Now that to me is pedophilia.
Yeah, but he had done it a couple times though. Like he had dated some 16-year-old chick when he was like
now,
28, 38.
When it's repetitive, I do understand that love stories, like we have no control over love stories if it's love. But when it's repetitive, yeah, that's pedophilia. Let's read this comment. Johnny Judah said, if I was single, I couldn't go lower than 10 years. But the way these old ass women getting surgery, shit, might not be no upper. I hate Johnny.
That's facts.
I can't stand Johnny. But yeah.
So when you looking at this is me. I think pedophilia is anything below the age of 15. Because shit, the reason why I say that is because I cannot shake the fact that I remember being in high school and 15, 16-year-old girls running around with dudes that was in college. You dig what I'm saying?
Oh, this did.
So because here's the thing. I need because at some point we have to consider consent, right? And when we consider consent, we always take away consent as soon as we hear the age, right? But there are girls today. There's girls that are in high school today, right now, 15, 16 years old, hollering at the 18-year-old senior. that's about to graduate, or the 19-year-old who graduated last year.
Personally, when it's in that realm, I mean, you're still in school. When
Not
it's in
at the
that realm,
night.
because I had girlfriends that dated seniors and stuff like that. I feel like you know what I'm saying? 18-year-old with a 16-year-old don't bother me that much.
See, I knew girls that was, but what I'm saying is, I knew girls that was 15 and 16 and had the 19-year-old who was out of school. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. I'm not just throwing out crazy numbers here. Right. Everybody who is within earshot of this podcast or who would listen to it later on, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You've seen that when you was in school.
Yeah, I did. We all have. Deada said, I can't lie. The youngsters are all in my face now. I'm 44. The young, mature man was 34. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's some type of attraction there. Like, when it comes to I feel like men are attracted to a youthful woman. And the younger men are attracted to older women. My opinion. Just my opinion.
Johnny is right about Karl Malone is an NBA basketball player who never won a championship, but he's considered a top 50 great. And he was in Utah. He went to the Utah Jazz, but he played like in somewhere Louisiana. And he got a 13-year-old girl pregnant. The girl had the baby and everything. Shit, Karl Malone got babies. Listen, Karl Malone got babies that he don't even know about. One of them won the WNBA championship. He got another one that played like in the NFL or some shit.
Why he not in jail?
Because he went to Utah.
You know what? I'm going to take it way, way back, though. Let's go way, way back. Back in the day, fathers were giving their 11, 12, and up.
Whoa. What are you considering back in the day?
Like back in the day when it was okay for a 50-some-year-old man to marry a 14-year-old.
You mean like in the 30s? You mean like in the 30s?
Back in the day.
You mean like in the 30s and back, right?
Let's talk about it.
Because in the 30s and back, a 12, 13, and 14-year-old girl was being raised to be a proper lady. That's why they was getting sold. You don't want to talk about it, baby. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it because you talking about your grandmama them. You don't want to talk about it. You talking about your grandmama and them. You talking about your grandmama them.
I still don't think it was right back then.
Listen to me. How was how you think you was when your grandmama had her first baby? See?
I don't know.
See, my grandma.
My dad's niece is here. I can only speak on my dad. Tanisha, how old was Grandma and Papa when they got together?
I guarantee you they was closer to about 15, 16 because my grandma and my papa was like 15, 16 years old when they got married. On my mama's side. That's just my mama there.
Because he a star. He talking about Karl Malone because he a star in that Mormon state of Utah.
I told you. He in that Utah. They took it. They said, we'll draft him. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Wow. I'm thinking this Dieta. She said in Mexican culture, the whole point of Quincy, whatever, however you pronounce that, I know what she's talking about though, is a celebration of coming age. And I've had Mexican friends that even say like they daddies even then be having discussions about
on the quinceañeras. Yeah. That's when they turn 15. That's when they get to the womanhood and they mamas be telling them. That's the reason why they so much, man, God, I'm not going to go into it. God damn it.
We know you're a professional with the Mexicanos.
I just like.
Judah said, and yeah, that was a shot. Young dudes get all chicks as a notch in their belt. It's shit to brag on. I can see that.
First off, I just like avocados. And anyway, listen, this is what I can't even hold it. I can't even hold it. But anyway, as soon as I brought up grandmas, everybody want to stop talking about it. But you right.
I'm gonna skip down. I'm gonna get to everybody. It's so many comments. Hold on, y'all. Shout out to everybody tuning in. All my viewers, all our viewers on Twitch, Twitter, wherever you're listening from, Spotify. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Make sure y'all share this for us. She said my grandma and papa, they were 19 and 20. Who was older, Tanisha? She said grandma was like 20 when she had my dad. Okay.
She just trying to make it seem good. I know good and goddamn well they was close to about 15. Shit. I ain't stupid. Shit.
I seen there's my favorite picture of them. They look like they was like, 19, 20-ish. My favorite picture of my grandma and my papa. But I do know, now this story is weird telling it because it's my own family. But my grandmother's mother's mother, how somebody just threw her on somebody's porch. And the family that took her in, my papa was one of those children. And my papa said he was like, she a pretty little girl. And my papa waited for her to turn 14 and he married her. I bullshit you not. And if it's a lie, they told me.
Yeah. That's what happened back in the day. That's the reason why when we got older, well, I'm saying when after I got older, in the 90s, it was a big thing to be like, it's teen pregnancy. But it was always a question like, when did you niggas start having babies? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know grandma and them was out there fucking at 14 and 15. They was out there fucking.
But let's put into place though that some of them women wasn't consensual. Their fathers had sold them for 2 cows and 3 goats.
Don't you start that.
It was more of a go over here and do this.
Don't you start that. I told you they was raised to be ladies. Them is the same women that taught your mama, and your mama was led astray by the government. Don't you never forget that.
Okay.
Grandmama them was the last ones that was raised right. They was raised to be prim and proper ladies. And at somewhere along, we all know what happened. The government took your mama them away from grandmama them. And grandmama them told you exactly how they was raised. Grandmama them said, yeah, we was out here fucking at 13, 14, 15 years old, getting married. And we was doing good. We was at the house cooking chicken and steak and shit for our mans when they got home.
That puts pressure on the whole feminist thing. Like women got tired of that shit.
Yeah, it puts pressure on the whole feminist thing because it make the feminists have to look at it and say shit. Well, grandmama them was taken care of and they was prim and proper. So what the fuck are we? That's what the feminists have to ask.
That don't mean grandma them was happy.
Grandma them was happy as a motherfucker. Ask grandma them.
I don't think those women were happy. I think those women were just in an era where they didn't have a whole bunch of rights. And this is basically how you've been conditioned. This is how life is supposed to go. And that's why
you sit up there.
My opinion about y'all policing women as of today. Y'all have lost that control.
Don't you sit up there. Don't you sit up there. Don't you sit up there. Don't you sit up there and lie. Don't you sit up there and make up lies about how good your grandmama them had it. Your grandmama them told you how good they had it. And especially in our community.
I don't think
especially in our community.
That somebody can tell you who you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with, have babies for, and cater to. I don't think that's
Check this out. The Jews do it and don't nobody trip. And they got all your goddamn money.
Oh,
they got all your money right now. See how you do it? See how you do it? But you don't want to talk about grandma. You don't talk about grandma. Grandma had it good, and she knows she had it good. She told you she had it good.
I don't think
she told you she took care of her man, and that was her thing. She liked it. You don't want to admit it. Look it up. Look it up. Shirazad Ali told you about yourself, and y'all didn't like it. Look it up. Look up the truth.
Grandma and them got married in our era started the baby mama era. And you know what? We're going to talk about that on one of our
I just told you why.
As a topic. We're going to talk about the baby
I
mama
just told you why. Because y'all went to the government. White daddy. That's who you wanted to.
I don't think that's
it's a lot of it. It's a lot of it.
To some extent, but I don't think that's the
when they paid you to keep men up out the house. That's when it. So who did it?
Said Celie was miserable on Color Purple.
Celie didn't have no choice in life.
That part. That's what I'm telling you right now. Women didn't have a choice. If my daddy,
you are talking about a Hollywood movie.
And some chicken,
you're talking about a Hollywood movie.
What?
You're talking about a Hollywood movie that is not real.
That was based off a true event.
That's a true lie. I've read that shit. That's a lie. And you the type to believe you the type to believe that Alex Haley wrote Roots too, right? And that was a true story.
Anyway,
what you
the age of adult consent is because we now understand human development, the brain, how the brain works. We now know that the brain isn't fully mature generally until mid-20s.
See, I told you that before, but y'all told me I was a goddamn fool. But okay.
I didn't tell you that.
Let's get on back to it.
I didn't tell you that.
This is what
I feel
this is all I'm gonna say.
Penis. Don't put words in my mouth. D said, "Well, you see how I had to. My bad.
This is where the trouble.
Operation down. I'm not fucking with them people."
Now we getting back on grandma them. Grandma them told you she had it good when she was out there.
And actually, my grandma never even talked about that. But I just don't. In my heart.
But she didn't have to.
My grandma now was happy with how things happened.
Yeah, she was happy.
Let's be clear.
She was happy.
Even after my grandma gave a man, and sorry, Pawpaw, but you know you weren't about shit. Even after my grandma gave this man 8 kids, married him, he still left her and she still ended up a single mama. Yeah.
Here's the question. Slow it down. Let's examine everything. Did he leave her directly after the 8th kid was born?
It was, I think it was in betweens. Like they had some breakups and then they get back together. I think it was in between.
Oh, so you don't want it? You don't want to talk about how grandma wouldn't let that good dick go?
They all were conceived in marriage. I will say that.
So you don't want to talk about how grandma wouldn't let she has a play in that too. She should have let that.
Definitely.
So there was a couple of breakups on the in between of them 8 kids, them 8 traps. That's what you're trying to tell me. That's what you just told me. She couldn't let that good dick go.
You're not gonna sit here and call my aunties and uncles some motherfucking traps, nigga.
You the one who put it out there.
Going fast. Hold on, y'all. Here I come. Hold on. Tanisha
did she want to let that good shit go?
No, let me read the comments, baby. At that time, most women stayed in the marriages and dealt with the cheating and the abuse. Thank you, cousin. Thank you. We're not gonna act like they had it good. The fuck?
And I'm not gonna sit here.
Like that was good life for them.
You wait 1 second. I'm not gonna sit here and let y'all sit up here and try to make up some goddamn lies like The Color Purple was. Y'all not gonna do this on this podcast. You're not gonna do this. What y'all gonna do is tell the truth.
Thank you. Dealt with them having second and third family. And the way
you know what's funny though? Them is the same. You know what's funny? Them is the same type traditional men that y'all swear y'all want out of men today. Now, which one you want? Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you want. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up because you don't know what you want. You talking about you want them same type of tradition. Them same men. Them same men
I don't
Them
ask
same
men.
men is where all them
Oh, yeah.
traditional values that y'all talk about come from.
I'm good with
Those
my
same men are where all those traditional values come from. That's what it is. And you can talk all that monkey shit all you want to, but them same men that your grandmama them was running after and kept on having babies with and doing all that monkey shit she was doing, them same men is the same men that you swearing that these men today need to be acting like. Now, which one you want? You either want them or you need to shut the fuck up. I don't know which one it is, but I'm thinking on the latter. It's a lot of y'all need to shut the fuck up.
He's not talking to me. Period. He talking to y'all.
So I'm gonna ask you again. If your granddaddy wasn't no good,
I feel like my grandma top. Don't play with me.
If your granddaddy wasn't no good, why do you want men to today?
Hold on, D. Y'all doing too much in the motherfucking comments.
Yeah. You don't want to talk about it because I'm trying to have them same traditional values of your granddaddy them. That's what I'm trying to do.
You want to marry a bitch and whoop her ass and cheat on her. That's your goal?
Y'all told me when you say traditional values.
You're not talking to me. You talking to these other females.
Kiddy, when you say traditional values, where else do traditional values come from? Man. If they don't come from the elders.
Man.
Do you see my hands here? Do you see my hands? I can't put them down because I don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me?
I see over here in my feed, they blocking comments, y'all. Y'all be careful in the comment section. Y'all kind of be creative in the comment section. I don't want none of y'all to get blocked because they watching me. They watching us. Dean said, I know my
granddaddy had. So did all the men in the 20s and the 30s, they didn't have no good value? They was all out there getting.
I think people in the 20s and 30s were conditioned, and that's just what that was. We now have freedom. We now have a different. We live in a different era where society has changed morality.
You have more better shit today than you had in the 20s and 30s. And you women have not evolved.
Nigga, boy, get the fuck off. Bye. You a lie. You was a motherfucking lie. Women have evolved.
Do you see my hands? I come in peace.
Outside the household working, we're some of the highest paid, some of the most intelligent and smart. We run our own business. You need to go to your statistics again. Go to them numbers you always looking at.
Yeah.
And figure that shit out. We have evolved.
First off, do you see my hands? I come in peace.
That's what Dan said. I come in peace looking ass nigga.
Second, I need you to understand all that shit you just brought up means not a goddamn thing to no successful men. Or otherwise, they ain't even got to be successful men. They don't mean shit.
And that's fine. We're not talking about that. That's not the subject at hand. What we're talking about is
I know, because all I asked, ladies and gentlemen, do you see me? I'm coming in peace. And all I asked was just this one simple question.
Okay, what was the question?
Where are we supposed to get the traditional values if not from the elders?
You're right. I agree with you. I'm not gonna dumb down. You're right.
So when y'all say that granddaddy wasn't shit because he was out there getting that good monkey elsewhere, and we do the same thing today, are we not holding up the traditional value? I'm coming in peace. I'm coming in peace. Look at my hands.
Traditional, I won't say value. Tanisha said we didn't know what was really until now. That's exactly what I just said. So what we were shown was the good in the traditional values. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is one of those things that when 4-5 asked the question, we's gonna dance around as much as we possibly can, but we's not gonna tell the truth.
Who dancing? I'm dancing.
Was your let me ask you this question. If granddaddy wasn't shit because he was out there getting that good monkey elsewhere and making other babies, if granddaddy wasn't shit, does that make grandmama golden? Because it seemed like to me grandmama wouldn't be shit if she keep running in behind this motherfucker.
I don't think either party should be discredited or watered down. We're talking about a generation, an era of people who were doing what they were conditioned to do.
But what is the generation of people?
Include the fact that they were breeding our people like they were fucking pit bulls.
But what is the tradition of people doing today?
What you mean?
At least back then they was breeding each other like pit bulls. That means the bloodline was still strong. Today they just putting dick wherever they want to.
We done ran out of time. I think that would be a good topic next week. I think discussing that whole,
next week.
That's what I'm saying, Judge. That's what I'm saying. They was making that's what I'm saying. Our people
next week
are just conditioned. That's it.
No,
that's all they do. So
we wasn't conditioned.
We're gonna think that that's traditional values because that's what the fuck we've been taught.
We wasn't conditioned. That wasn't conditioned. That was tradition.
And we can agree to disagree.
No, we're not gonna do that today.
Yes,
you see how my hands are right now?
I'm hungry.
Next time, I'm not coming in peace.
We need the ability to call in. I'm gonna get a number, Rollo. These shows will be 2 hours long. We start letting y'all call in. Do y'all remember how y'all used to do us? We gonna get a number. We gonna get an extra number so y'all can call in. But that concludes our show for today. We really could go longer and longer with this topic. It's definitely a good topic. I don't know. We might bust a part 2 to it. We could possibly bust a part 2. Nigga, don't be throwing up gang signs. The fuck wrong with you?
I was putting out the Leaf Clan mantra.
Most definitely,
because they're putting up a protection around me to stop dealing with all you crazy asses out here in the world trying to get me to believe the shit you believe in life.
I don't think it's
anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
I think we all have to take into consideration, like Rollo said, it's not a disagreement, it's a difference of opinion. We have to take into consideration how the other parties think. And see, that's the thing, like when you dating somebody, you have to have conversations like this. That's why I like that little card game they got, because there's a dating card game where you ask each other questions and you get an opportunity to see how somebody's mental work. I think that'll cut out on motherfuckers just having babies and shit by motherfuckers, because then you'll realize like this motherfucker ain't all the way there. You got to ask questions and get to know people. That's why a majority of us are baby mamas and baby daddies, because we just fucking, we didn't get to know each other. That's why a majority of us aren't together. That's why we're at each other's throats. And that is the absolute reason for War of the Roses. We're trying to bridge the gap, y'all. 4-5, what you got coming up?
Wasn't grandmama them slanging that ass like that too? Anyway, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Smokes and Jokes, April 1st. Get down.
Shit!
Get down.
Keep forgetting the banner. I keep forgetting the damn flyer. No,
get around and get down.
I'm a lie. Hold on, the flyer here.
Shout out to Tri-Coastal Radio. Shout out to my brother Judge Too Heavy, Blackbird Killers, Max, and Johnny Judah. Shout out to Dean Manuscript, Corner Boy Radio. You know what it is, Blue Loco, and my man Goldie the One. Shout out to Red. You know what it is, my boy, Rob C.
I would like to attend April Fool's Smokes and Jokes April the 1st. Tickets are on Eventbrite. 2343 What was the numbers? 23 what? Make sure y'all tune in for the Petty Game podcast on.
Yeah, tune in to the Petty Gang podcast with Rob C. Them on some.
Wrong show. I'm getting petty on the wrong show. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night. Rob C and them gonna be coming back. I'm excited about that. Y'all make sure y'all check our people out. Matter of fact, I think they'll be giving away some tickets. 2343. I told you they giving away some tickets on the show tomorrow. So y'all tune in. It's going up, baby. Y'all also make sure y'all go and follow Manuscript in the Morning, our page, our Manuscript in the Morning page. We finna come back, bitch. We finna come back. Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe everywhere. Go to YouTube. Make sure that you're subscribed to Kiddy Pink Radio as well as Tri-Coastal Radio. Any final words?
Yeah. My final word is grandmama them used to give some sweet ass away, boy.